This morning I want to talk about doing your bit. Doing your bit. As Bonnie retires from the kitchen after probably over a decade now, at 90, and just so many stories are running through my head with Bonnie. She's just amazing. She actually even came and asked me, like, I hope I'm not letting you down. And I was like, well, really, I kind of thought you had a bit more in you than that. And I remember a while ago when we were doing clean-up, and one of the ladies, there was dirt on the floor, and so she was like, oh, I need to get that. We had a broom thing that had a longer stick on it, she said, because I'll need that. And so she went to get it because she didn't want to have to bend down, and our Bonnie goes, oh, here you go. And Bonnie just swept it up, and so she is just an amazing woman of God who's certainly done her bit. And although she might not be doing kitchen, we're going to get her on some other area. We're not letting her off that easy until the Lord takes her home. But there's a thing in life that everyone needs to be doing their bit, that nothing happens by chance. And for some of you today who struggle reading the Word of God, I'm going to do something a little bit different today, and I'm just going to read just about all of, well, you want to read it with me, in 1 Samuel chapter 9. We're going to do most of Samuel chapter 9 and some of chapter 10, so that'll be great for you to be able to mark it off. But it's about doing our bit. And I was thinking things like, when you talk to people, everybody agrees everyone should do their bit. If you're a mum, you're amazed how your kids at home, they don't do their bit. And if you're in school, you think other people should do their bit. Or if you're in a workplace, you think other people should do their bit. And yet really what the message is about us doing our bit. Okay? Everybody should be doing something. And we always notice the people that don't. A while ago I was with a group of women, and we were just talking about, issues and struggles that we have. And one of the ladies was telling me this. She said, sometimes, like a few years ago, I just got so fed up, my husband just not doing his bit. I'd come home and his clothes were laying all over the place, and I, kept picking them up, and it didn't seem to make any difference. And I tried putting like a clothes basket here, and I tried doing this, and I tried doing that, and, nothing worked. So she said, in the end, he's not going to do his bit. She said, what I figured was, when we come in the bedroom, his side of the bed's first, so I cleaned up my bit. I cleaned up my bit, I got into bed, and I started to sleep like a baby. She said, but late at night when he came to bed, I could hear, as he tripped over all of his stuff. And I hoped that was going to make him reach a point he would do his bit. Sometimes we're always hoping that someone's going to do their bit. But today, hopefully, by the time you leave here today, you're going to be challenged to go, am I doing my bit? What are you doing for the kingdom of God? Are you doing your bit? Because it's so important that we all do something. God is going to put us somewhere for a reason and for a season to do something. And yet we're in a generation, and when I say generation, I don't mean the young teenagers. I mean just a generation that everybody thinks somebody else should do it. It's awesome as a church how many great ideas everybody has that we should do. But when I then say, okay, so would you like to do that? Oh no, I think, and everyone's got someone else who should do it. The younger people should do it. The older people should, because they're retired, they don't do anything. The young people should do it because they're muscly. Somebody should do that. Somebody should do that. And really what we need to is maybe that somebody is me. Maybe I need to be doing something. So we're going to start in 1 Samuel chapter 9. Verse 2, it says this, Kish had a choice and handsome son whose name was Saul. There was no one more handsome person than he among the children of Israel. From his shoulders upwards, he was taller than any of the people. Now, I've always found that quite a funny statement, because if you think from his shoulders upwards, he's taller than anyone else, he has a big head. He's handsome and he has a big head. Okay. It says, now the donkeys of Kish, Saul's father, were lost. And Kish said to his son, please take one of your servants with you, arise and go and look for the donkeys. And pastors preached a message a while ago called Looking for Donkeys, and it's a great sermon if you go back and have a look at it. But it goes on to talk about how they went from this place to this place to this place, and they travelled such a long time trying to find these donkeys. And then in verse 5 it says this, now Saul said to his servant who was with him, come, let us return, lest my father cease caring about the donkeys and become worried about us. And maybe that's the place that you're at. Saul seemed to go out to do his bit, but he reached a point to go, you know what? I've been looking for things, I've been searching for something, and I can't find it. And so I'm just going to quit. And when I think about us when we're struggling to do our bit, sometimes that's how we feel. It's like, well, I was kind of doing, but you know what? I feel we still haven't found what we're looking for. I've been maybe on the music team and I've been trying to get into that place of worship they're talking about, but I haven't just found what I'm looking for. I've done kids' church long enough. I've been an usher and I'm kind of finding it's just a really hard job. So, you know, I haven't found my bit, so let's return home. So often when we start a job in the kingdom of God, I've been going to life group, but you know what? I'm not really getting out as much as I do from staying home, watching Home and Away. So let's just return. Let's just return. I'm getting too old to go to life group anyway. I'm getting too busy to go to life group. Let's just return because we haven't found what we're looking for. And the verse goes on to say, he's talking to his servant, and his servant said, look here, there is a city with a man of God, and he is an honourable man, and that they say that surely whatever he says will come to pass. So let us go there, perhaps he will show us the way that we should go. I love that. I love that if you're travelling with someone, when you feel like, let's just go back because this isn't working, that servant decided to do his bit. See, now that servant's not even named in there. If you look into the history, they're saying it's probably Doeg who comes into the scene later, but who's travelling with him? Maybe you're travelling with someone who just decides, let's just go back. Let's just give up on this. Let's just head back. And the servant, who doesn't have to, he's there to serve. So he could say, yeah, you're right, come on, let's just head back again. It's not exactly fun looking for donkeys. I mean, imagine that as a job. You reckon your job's hard. How would you like a job? I look for donkeys. Well, actually, I help the guy that looks for donkeys. You know, maybe you're a life group leader and you go, that's my title. Yeah, I'm looking for donkeys to attend my life group. And I've just decided, you know what? We're putting this life group on every week and they're just not coming, so hey, let's just leave. And you need a servant to do their bit that goes, come on, let's go seek God. Let's go seek God. And that's what the servant does. The servant does his bit. See, it's not about whether you have a name or a title. It's about whether you have a servant's heart to encourage people to say, come on, let's go seek the man of God. And so they head to seek the man of God. Then Saul says, look, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread in our vessels is all gone, and there is no present to bring. What do we have? What do we have? Here is Saul feeling like, I've just got nothing else to give. And I don't really know what area to pick. I'm not trying to pick one area. Sometimes that's where we're, what's the point? I did this and I feel like I'm not really getting through with anything. And I've just got nothing left to give. I've got nothing left to give. I've kind of done that. You know, like we're accepting for Bonnie. This is not a get back in ministry Bonnie talk. But this is like, I've done it. What am I going to do? And I love this servant goes on to say in verse 8, the servant answers Saul again and said, look, I have here in my hand 1/4 shekel of silver. I will give that to the man of God to tell us our way. I'll give that. Imagine that. You're the servant. Are you prepared to give to be able to help others find their way? When we have things like the India missions and stuff like that, sometimes you might say, I'm not able to go or I'm not able to help in some area, but we can give. We can give. We can have a servant's heart to go, well, actually, I've got something we could give. Maybe you might find that you know some kid not going to kids club because they don't have money. Here, I can actually give. And so there's a servant heart to go, I could do my bit. Look here, I've got something I could give. Because again, we've got lots of ideas on what we should do, Father, even as a church, we should do this. I was talking to someone this week about how awesome it would be if we had a building. That would be awesome. You guys have to come in so early to do setup. We wouldn't need to do that anymore. So what we actually need is about $2 million for the servants to give. And then a clean-up team to clean the church that we're in. And then we'll need insurance to pay for. And yeah, it's a great idea. Let's go to the house of God. But sometimes there's a place we've got to go, I think it's a great idea. Let me give. Let me be the one that gives into those ideas. Let me be the one that gives into those ideas. And Saul goes on to say, and then Saul said to his servant, well said. I don't know if you've ever been in that place where someone else has offered to pay for something. It's easy to say, well said. That is just such a good idea. Like, I would love to go to Nando's today, but I've just got nothing. And Bree says, well, I've got some money. Oh, that's so well said. That's so well said if someone else is going to pay. We're all like that. If someone else is going to do their bit, oh, that's so well said. You'll pay for that. You'll pay for me to do this. You'll buy those things for me. Oh, that's so well said. We see Saul take a shift when someone else is going to do their bit. Because often when we're saying that everyone else should do their bit, whether it's in your home, in your work, in your thing, it's always good when someone else does their bit. But our God rejoices when we go, I'll do my bit. I'll do my bit. I'll faithfully come. You know, for us now, like, we've been here doing this, but we did it in our old church. And I really didn't care what other people did with their bit. I was like, no, I'm going to serve with my bit. I'm going to be the one that's there. I'm going to come with a great attitude. I love what we said about our precious Bonnie. I don't think in over 10 years I've ever heard her come in, whinge, complain, or say anything. That doesn't mean she doesn't have any problems. She always comes to you and say, how are you, Bonnie? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And that's been the desire of our heart, and I know many others. I want to be like Bonnie. I want to be, when I'm 90, I want to be like that. But I want to tell you now, it's going to start when you're 30. It's going to start when you're 20. It's going to start when you're 60. If you come into the house of God with a gripe and a complaint every time, you're never going to end up like Bonnie. Because she didn't start doing it at 80. She started doing it at 18, or probably even before, to say, I'm going to see this change in my life. Verse 11, it says, and then they went up to the hill of the city, and they met some young women there, going out to draw water. And they said to them, is the seer here? And they answered them and said, yes, there is just ahead of you. Hurry now, for today he came into the city, because there was a sacrifice for the people today in the high places. As soon as you come to the city, you will surely find him before he goes to the high places to eat. For the people will not eat until he comes, because he must bless the sacrifice. Afterwards, those he's invited will eat. Now therefore go up to this time, you will find him. This is going to be so great, because you're going to be able to mark off all of chapter 9 and go, I read the whole chapter today. So where are we going is, he met some young women. He met some young women. You might be young here today, thinking, when I'm older, I'm going to do my bit. But they came and they gave direction. There is direction. Even if you're a young person, you can help point someone to where things are right. These girls could have said, it's not our problem. These girls could have been stuck on Facebook and not even noticed two men looking for donkeys. They could have been stuck in their own issues and problems. Or you could be a young person today to go, I'll show you. I'll show you where to go. So every person here can do your bit. Every person here can help establish the kingdom. We can pray your kingdom come, but it comes when God's kingdom people start to do their bit in the kingdom. That they're willing to tell people and give direction. It's powerful that the girls actually say that the people that can go and see this man of God are those that are invited. Invited. That talks of the whole kingdom there. If you're invited. Nothing is coincidence. When I think of these guys walking past and they suddenly meet three girls, or they meet some girls, and they know where the man of God is, that's not a coincidence. If you're a young person here today, God is going to put people in your life, right in your path, that are going to ask something. And you have to decide, am I going to say something? Or am I just going to tell them what shops have opened lately, where the good specials are, what's happening, and what's the latest thing on Facebook? Or am I going to tell them about the importance of being invited and how to find the man of God? Verse 14 says this, and they were coming into the city, and there was Samuel coming out towards them on his way to the high place. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you're a visual person, but you need to picture these things. This is like a whole city happening, okay? People coming, people going, everything else. And in life, we think so much comes down to coincidence, but with God, nothing comes down to coincidence. So at that appointed time, when these guys who were looking for donkeys are now looking for a man of God, it says that it just happened. That there is Samuel right in front of them. See, sometimes the answer is right in front of you if you're prepared to look for it. So you can come to church on Sunday, and right in the worship, God can be right in front of you trying to speak to you. And you can sing a song, and then just leave and go, yeah, well, I'm still waiting for when God comes. Or you can be in the presence of God, and right at that time where you're saying, God, I've got this problem and that problem and da-da-da-da-da, and they start singing majesty. Worship his majesty. God just met you and gave you the answer.
Yeah.
In the face of everything else that's happened, majesty. It's not about a song. It's about meeting with a creator who wants to talk to you. If we'll push through and see him in the things of God, all of a sudden he's there. Verse 15 and 16, it says, Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear the day before Saul came, saying, Tomorrow about this time I will send to you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him commander over his people. He told him the day before. So you might be a man of God. I'm going to cover different, doesn't matter what area you're supposed to do your bit, whether you're a young person, whether you're a servant, whether you're a man of God. But God spoke to him yesterday. God might have spoken to you something. You might feel like, I'm a really strong Christian, but God might have spoken to you yesterday. But the question is, when he spoke to you yesterday, are you prepared to do your bit today? Because if he wasn't prepared to listen to the yesterday, how will he move in what is called today? See, sometimes we're so busy like, oh yeah, well I did all that. It really breaks my heart when I listen to people tell me stories of what they did do in the kingdom. That's great. God says, what are you doing today? What are you doing today? Well, now I'm leaving that for the young people. Show me that in the Word of God. Show me that in the Word of God. Caleb actually says, like, give me this mountain. He's like 80 years old. I'm still fighting. I'm still doing it. I got a 90-year-old lady who's still, she doesn't just wash the dishes. She oversees the whole kitchen. That means coming in at 8:20 every week and overseeing that whole area. Having a group of people that work under it. That's a big thing. And what he's saying here is, God spoke to him yesterday. God is going to speak to you in your yesterday to tell you what you need to do today. The day before, God had spoken to him. And the Lord said to him, There he is, the man whom I spoke to you about. This one shall reign over my people. This one shall reign over my people. See, sometimes it hasn't happened what you heard God say to you in your yesterday. Maybe it was pray for somebody. Maybe it was do something. Maybe it was a direction and you feel like he spoke to me in my yesterday, but it didn't happen today. But I'm still going to do my bit. I'm going to put myself in that path to hear what God is telling me to do, even from my yesterday. Also understanding, I put there, sometimes if you don't obey the yesterday, he's not going to give you a new day. See, God tells us certain things to do, and until that comes to pass, we're going to stay in that. Verse 18 says this, And then Saul drew near to Samuel at the gate and said, Please tell me, where is the seer's house? And Samuel said to him, I am the seer. Go up before me to the high place, for there you shall eat with me today. And tomorrow I will tell you of the things that are in your heart. But as for your donkeys that were lost 3 days ago, do not be anxious for them, for they have been found. They have been found. You know, you need to go home and read this story and just picture all of this happening. Okay, some servant encouraged you to keep going and did his bit, and then you met some young girls who did their bit, who told you, and now you're walking and you just meet this guy who's just totally random, happens to be right there at that right time. Wow, coincidentally. And he happens to be the man of God, and he tells me what you were worried about 3 days ago, what you were looking for, has already been found. Now that to me is pretty gobsmacking. Imagine you've got a problem and someone comes to you and says, look, what was on your heart 3 days ago, Vicky? That's all covered. This is, you'd be like, how do you know that? They didn't have Facebook, okay? They didn't have Snapchat. They didn't have any of that. So how did he know? And if you stay close to God, there will be things that you know down in your knowing. And so he says to me, you don't need, and I'll tell you what's in your heart. See, Samuel was thinking, what's in my heart was to find Dad's donkeys, otherwise he ain't going to be very happy with me. So Saul. But he said, I'll tell you what was in your heart. And he goes on to say, and on whom is all of the desire of Israel? Is it not on you and all of your father's house? You'd be thinking, no, the job was just to go find the donkeys. Now this prophet's actually telling him, the whole of Israel is waiting for you to find the donkeys. See, sometimes God's got a way greater call upon your life. You might just think you're out there looking for donkeys. You might just think you're out there looking for things that are lost. You might feel that you're just out there doing what somebody else has told you to do. Well, I don't know why they said if I want to do this ministry, I've got to be here and do this and do this. But you know what? God's got a bigger plan. Are not the whole of Perth's eyes on you as a Christian to see what you do? And Saul answered and said, Am I not a Benjamite, the smallest of the tribes of Israel, and my family the least of the families? Why then do you speak like this to me? See, for us to be able to do our bit, church, you've got to be able to see what God sees in you. See, because he only felt that's all he was good for. When God starts to say, I've got an amazing call upon your life. This is the ministry you're going to do. This is the things that you're going to do. I can't do that bit. I can't do that bit. How can you see that in me? And I love the way, when you're a good man of God, you don't actually answer. You don't even bother entertaining those thoughts. Because after he's like, what? Why are you talking to me like that? Like, I'm just out here looking for donkeys. I'm not out here to be the king to rule over all of Israel. Are you serious? Now Samuel took Saul, his servant, and brought them into the hall. And he had them sit down in a place of honor among those who were invited. There was about 30 people there. That's powerful in itself. Again, you need to go and read this and get an understanding. You're talking about a huge place. And Saul is just thinking all he's doing is going out to find 3 donkeys. But he's kind of doing, everyone else is doing their bit to get him where he needs to be. Maybe you need to open your eyes and realize there are people in your life that are doing their bit to get you where you need to be. And then he turns up at a supper. You need to understand that Samuel was like so important, like the queen or something. Okay, and then it ends up there's only 30 people invited, and these two are 2 of them that are there. See, God's going to bring you to that place, and now all of a sudden they're in a place of honor. A place of honor just by other people doing their bit. Verse 23 and 24 says, and then Samuel said to the cook's doing her bit, bring the portion which I gave to you, which I said to you, set apart. So the cook took up the thigh from the upper part as it was set before Saul. And Samuel said, here it is, that which was kept back. It is set apart for you. Eat, for until this time it has been kept for you, since I had invited the people. So Saul ate that day with Samuel. See what he did, Samuel, when he heard yesterday, he set apart something. He set apart something. Now you've then got to tell a cook to do her bit, tell her that something's going to happen, but I don't really understand what it is, but I just need you to do your bit. And so he's prepared to hold something back. It says there that he has kept it back. He has set it apart. Maybe God is challenging your heart. You need to keep something back. Yeah, but I've got lots of things I want to buy and do, and I just need to do all these things, and I just want to, and then when I've got spare, I'll give to God. And God's going, I've got something so unique about to happen. I need you to hold something back. I need you to hold something back. There are certain things in your life you need to set apart and hold back so that when God brings it about, what he's about to do, you're able to give into that. You're able to give into that because you go, I've put my bit apart. And he set it apart. It says then Saul called, in verse 25, Saul called to Samuel on the top of the house, saying, get up, that I may send you on your way. And Saul arose, both of them went outside, he and Samuel. Samuel said to Saul, tell your servant to go ahead of us. And he went ahead. But you stand here a while, that I may announce to you the word of God. I'm going to announce you. So now they've had this amazing meal. Saul is still like, I don't quite get what's happening here. And then he sends the servant ahead. Maybe there's going to be people in your life that God is going to send ahead. He got him to that place, but that doesn't mean they're going to take him into the next level where God is going to take you. See, God said, send the servant away. Servant goes, I got him here in the first place. He didn't even know who he was. He didn't even have any money to get where he needs to get. But God's saying to you sometimes, maybe now I need to draw you maybe I need to draw you closer to me now so you can hear. And sometimes if I'm so attached, I can't, as Brie was my friend, she brought me to church and I can't let go. And God goes, if you can't let go of some things and move to a place where I can tell you what I've got you set apart for. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the servant, but God goes, I've got something more unique, I've got something different for you now to do your part. The servant did his part, now I need you to do your part. In chapter 10, the story goes on. Then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, is it not because the Lord has anointed you commander over his inheritance? That's what we've been talking about week after week after week. Church, you are anointed to take over an inheritance. You are anointed to take over a kingdom. You have been anointed by the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And he's going, okay, I need you guys to rise up and do your bit. Not just wait for me to come back. If it was about that, he could get you saved and boom, take you straight up to heaven. He said, I've anointed you to take over the place, to start to rule and reign in the things we've been talking about, in the kingdom things. I need you now to take your place and do your bit. Do your bit. I want you to encourage everyone this week when you're talking to, you need to do your bit. Oh yeah, but I'm too young. No, you need to do your bit. Well, I don't have any money, but you still need to do your bit. Well, I'm too old. No, you need to do your bit. Or find me a scripture that says that you don't, which is fine with me. Okay, verse 2. And then, I love this. This is just so crazy cool. Okay, in verse 2 it says, okay, so he's talking to, he's sending Saul back, okay, and he says, and you will find 2 men who will tell you that their father has found the donkeys. You'll find 2 men, okay? Now I need you to think about being those 2 men. I'll use Adrian and Dylan. God woke you up this morning and said, right, I need you to go pop out to the middle of Mirrabooka, stand on the road, you're going to meet this guy and you need to tell him your donkeys have been found. That's your bit you got to do. See, we're not thinking about what was happening there. 2 random strangers must have decided, I need to do my bit. God said, oh no, you've been talking, I don't know why we're going all the way to Mirrabooka just to go stand there. I mean, how do we even know that we're going to find some? And you're just randomly standing there in the middle of Mirrabooka and a guy comes up and you go, hi, just want to tell you, your donkeys have been found. But if they hadn't have done that, it wouldn't have been building layer upon layer, precept upon precept in Saul's life to go, okay, that's freaky weird, okay, yep, God is good. And then those 2 guys just get to go home, get back on the bus and you go home again. So you get a car. It's good to get a car because then you can go do even more what God tells you to do. Okay, Samuel then tells him, and then you'll go on from there, okay, and now you're going to meet 3 men. So he's now got 3 more men that are going to do their bit. And this one's even weirder, okay. This one, he says, what's going to happen? You're going to meet 3 men, okay. One's going to be carrying 3 goats, one's going to be carrying 3 loaves of bread, and one's going to be carrying the wineskin. Now, if I was one of those 3 men and I had to do my bit, I'd probably go with the wineskin, okay. The guy with 3 bread, that's not too bad. The guy with 3 goats, come on. Be like, how come I got this bit? And maybe you're going to be the one that has to carry the 3 goats. Maybe your load is going to seem heavier than everyone else's. Well, how come I've got to do so much? I feel other people should be doing more than them. You know, I don't care. If I've got to put up the stage and his job is just to lay down that wine, fine, you do the bread, I don't care. You just be the bread runner, and you be the wine, but you're the ones that carry the little communion cups up. I'll be the one that lays out the stage and puts up and lifts up the drums. I don't care. If I've got to carry 3 goats and do my bit, I'm going to carry 3 goats and do my bit. And how cool is God that if you will open your ears and hear, that's exactly what happens. All of a sudden, he meets 3 guys, and he says, and what will happen is, and this still seems unfair, the guy with the loaf of bread will give you 2 loaves of bread. Like, it would be better to have been the goats, okay? Like, the guy with the goats would have said that would have been nice. There's going to have to be a place where no matter what you've got, God might tell you to give what you've got. And then for him, when he was there with the bread, maybe he would have preferred the goats. But whatever God gives you at that time, in that season, you need to be grateful. You could say, like, well, a goat's worth more, I'd like more. Or I'm really thirsty, I'd like a drink. Or you can just take what God gives you and go, fine, if it's bread you want me to have, it's bread that I'll take. And if you're the goat carrier, well, I'll just do my bit. I don't really know why God's got me carrying these 3 goats, but I'm just going to keep doing my bit and walk with the 3 goats. And that's exactly what happens. And then it gets even better. He says, then what's happened is you're going to keep walking. I've now lost track because it's too hard for me to keep reading. You can read it when you go home. He says, you're then going to keep walking and you're going to find these prophets, and there's going to be one playing a tambourine. I told you it was going to be hard today. One playing a tambourine, one playing a flute, and one playing a harp. And they will be prophesying. Have you ever thought how you prophesy with a tambourine or whatever in your hand? Because we need to understand what prophecy is. They were worshipping, church. They were worshipping. I wish I hadn't picked this up now. It's going to be hard to put down again. But anyway. Yep. Okay, they were prophesying. They were prophesying. So then God had told you to get up, and he goes, right, what I need you to do is go out with your tambourine and your harp and your flute, and I need you to start to worship. Do your bit.
Yeah.
Do your bit. Just be the one there that's worshipping. And I love it. It's not even like it's not like he knew that there was a band that practiced down in Jerusalem or something. This is God moving to tell you, I'm going to show you, if you will do your bit, I'll get everyone else to do their bit. Because he is so precise in what you're going to find on your way back. It is so amazing. You know, God knows your beginning from your tomorrow. He knows what's going to happen. He knows exactly what's going to be in your tomorrow. He knows who you're going to meet and what's going to happen. And so then they come out. And there are these people worshipping God, you know, because worship isn't just about singing and playing. It says that they were prophesying. See, music team, when you stand up here, you are prophesying. See, it's not about your talent, it's about your lifestyle. It's about your lifestyle, because what you are is you are declaring prophetically the word of God. The Bible says that you go before the congregation and you lead them into a place of worship. So maybe you feel sometimes like it seems unfair that you've got to do this and you've got to do this. This is because I want to go into the presence of God.
Yeah.
And if you're leading, I need you to be going further. Because you're prophesying. When you're up here singing and you're singing majesty, worship his majesty. When you're singing, when the praise goes up, the walls will go down. You're speaking it. You're telling me when the praise goes up, Pastor Jane, get off your butt. Stop whinging how you've had a bad week. Because when the praise goes up, the walls will come down. Okay, I'm following you, Bree. You just keep singing, girl. I'm following you. You just keep prophesying. I'm following you. That's what we're doing as a music team.
That's right.
We're doing our bit to take the people into somewhere they haven't reached yet. The reason David gets us, well, not me because I'm not in the music team, but David gets you to practice the songs, Mark gets you to practice the songs, is to show you, come on, we're going to take the church in.
Yeah.
We're going to take them into breakthrough. It's not about the songs, it's about prophesying. It's not about our talents, it's about our lifestyle. It's about doing our bit. 10 verse 6 says, and then the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you, and you will prophesy with them, and you will turn into another man. I love it. And let it be when these signs come upon you that you do what the occasion demands, for God is with you. See, I don't know if you're getting this, but he's saying, music team, you're going to start to worship and prophesy, and then what's going to happen, who's not on the worship team, Vicky, what's going to happen is you're going to turn into a new person, because they're going to be prophesying and you're going to follow in their likeness. You're going to be like them, and you're going to turn into a new person, into another man. That's what happens to me when the worship team are really worshiping. It makes me into another person. It brings me into a new place. And then it says, and you will do what the occasion demands. What does the occasion demand? That you're going to walk in what you're singing. That you're going to do those things. That people then, because then you're doing your bit. So if you're in the music team, you understand people are going to do what you show them. Oh, that's what the occasion demands, that I do this. What's the occasion demand? See, true worship turns us into something different.
Yeah, that's true.
The more you're involved in worship, the more you know how to worship God, it'll turn you into something new. It'll change who you are. And then Samuel goes on to say in verse 8, he tells him, like, you know, I'm going to come down and see you. And be like, Jesus, guess what? He's coming, church. He's coming down to see you. And so off he goes. And it says, and so it was when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, that God gave him another heart.
Yeah.
And all those signs came to pass that day. See, that's salvation.
Yeah.
When you do your bit, God brings us into a place of salvation, which is just a new heart.
Yeah.
A new heart. And so everything that was said happens. This is where it gets scary. In verse 14. Okay, so he knows now, okay, like I've just had this amazing thing with Samuel, and he's told me all these things. Not only that, I've seen everybody do their bit. This is just so amazing. And now I know he's coming down. He's coming to anoint me king. That's what he told me. This is going to happen. The whole of Israel is waiting for me to do my bit. Okay. Verse 14 says, then Saul's uncle said, I was going to call this message the man from uncle, but anyway. Then Saul's uncle said to his servant, where did you go? And he said to him, to look for the donkeys. When we saw that they were nowhere to be found, we went to Samuel. Now keep in mind, I believe that Saul's uncle would have already heard what happened. Because I tell you what, if I got invited to Parliament House with 30 people, you would have all heard about it, okay? Even without Facebook, you would have heard about it. So keeping in mind that Saul's uncle, who is actually Abner, who's very career-minded and ambitious and everything, he's actually just heard, hang on, I've heard my young, does that make him a nephew? My young nephew just went to Parliament House. So I'll go, oh, so where have you been? Because I'm not, hey, hang on, we're about to be enforced here, empowered. I know that if my young son Adrian does his bit, something's happened. Because he just got to speak with people that were so high up. He got invited. He got given a special portion set aside by, dare I say, Samuel. So, where have you been? Just looking for donkeys. We went to Samuel, what? And he says this. And so, okay, looking for donkeys. And the uncle said to him, tell me please, what did Samuel say to you? You have your opportunity to do your bit. Even today, someone says, so where'd you go today? Oh, no. You have a mouth to speak your bit. Where someone goes, did you go to church today? Did you meet with God today? Did God touch you at some point? You got to say your bit. Tell me please, what did Samuel say to you? So Saul said to his uncle, he told us plainly that the donkeys had been found. But the matter about the kingdom, he did not tell him what Samuel had said. That's scary, church. That's not doing your bit. And maybe that's where we're at. See, we can pray, new people will come to church, we can pray and that things will happen, but we need to do our bit. There are going to be family members who ask you, so what happened this month? Oh, nothing, just went to church, listening to something, the music wasn't that good, the preacher was pretty boring too. Or you can do your bit. See, it's when you get excited about what God is doing that then others are. He came to him going, what have you been doing today, Rebecca? Oh, nothing. Just had some Tim Tams and a cup of coffee. Okay, you didn't meet with God? That should be the first thing when someone asks you what you did. I met with God this morning, had a bit of a chat, sang to him a bit, lifted up his name, spoke his peace over my life. I think the reason that Saul didn't want to, and the reason probably most of us don't want to, is if we start to declare, because I go to church because I'm a Christian, if we start to declare who we are, they're going to challenge your lifestyle. They're going to challenge your lifestyle. One of the greatest things you'll always hear when you, even whether you swear, whether you do something, your non-Christian friends say, what? I thought you were a Christian. I saw such a body here and I thought they were a Christian. Because you know what? They actually know how we're supposed to behave. And we want to declare things like God's grace. You need to know what God's grace actually means. The word grace, in its literal translation, means God's enabling power. So go back through everywhere that God's grace covers your things. What it does is it gives you his enabling power. So God's grace, God's enabling power will help you get rid of those things. Now that doesn't mean we need to be perfect, but we need to do our bit. We need to be able to be prepared to say. See, he knew that he was chosen, but that actually means there's got to come a change to be set apart. See, we all know here, oh yeah, I know I'm going to heaven. I know I'm chosen. I know I'm going to heaven because Jesus died on the cross. That's why we did communion. That's really cute. That's just great. So then when he chooses you, he gets you to do your bit, which is to be set apart. Is to start to go, okay, if this is how I live in the kingdom, it's what we've been preaching for the last weeks and weeks and weeks. There's a kingdom living in the world and there's a kingdom living in church, and there should be a desire in our heart to go, I want to do my bit. I want to get closer to the things of God. And when we do our bit, we're going to see things change. Just to end how this story ends, which is really sad. Finally, Samuel turns up. And the Bible says that he's looking for the one that's been anointed and chosen. Remember the one with the big head?
Yeah.
The Bible says it's taller than everybody else. Now he knew Samuel was coming. And yet the Bible says he's hiding. He's hiding. Church, I hope you know that Jesus Christ is coming. Is definitely coming back. And he's coming back to say, well done, good and faithful servant. Not church attender, not Christian. Well done, good and faithful servant. And so Samuel comes and he's looking through everyone. And eventually they find him hiding. And they bring him out. And I'm going to end on this one, verse 25. Then Samuel explained to the people the behavior of royalty. And he wrote it in a book and he laid it up before them. Church, we need to start to do our bit. Okay, the behavior of royalty and how we need to try and line our lives up is written in here. And God is going to put people across our life. Maybe you'll be the servant that will just help someone. Maybe you'll be the one that will sow in to some kind of area. Maybe you'll just be that young girl that points somebody in the right direction. Maybe you'll be someone else who will be able to be in music and be able to go, one day you meet someone in heaven and they go, you know, Bree, I was here because of you. I watched you through your trials, lead us in a place of worship. I watched you this morning, which I actually did with tears running down your face as we sung Majesty. I want that. And because of the way you lived and because of the things that you did, that drew me into the kingdom of God. Heaven forbid if we meet that person in hell instead. Who says, I was here because you showed me what the occasion demanded. And I copied you. I copied you because I thought that was the right way, because I thought you were leading me. Or imagine the people that you meet that didn't make it in who go, but I met you on that path. And I asked you which way. And you said, you don't know, or you don't have time, or you're too busy, or you're too old, or you're too young, and so now I'm here. How much glorious to be the ones that can show people, come on, I want to show you. No, I haven't made it yet, but I just know if I just do my bit, if I stop worrying about whether everyone else is doing their bit and I just do my bit for the kingdom of God, we can see this nation turned if we just start to do our bit, church.